I think we're really at a turning point where I don't know that one can define precisely what will happen. I think there is clearly a need from a marketer's perspective to be able to have a cohesive dialogue with their consumer for there to be unification and interoperability across the industry. And certainly initiatives like OpenAP are a great step in that direction. That being said, I think we've got a lot of bets in motion right now. Some bets are bringing things together, and other bets are, as you point out, creating more walled gardens. And so I think right now it remains to be seen how it all plays out, but I think we're going through this open and closed ecosystem debate, and I believe that ultimately what's in the best interest of consumers so that they have a great experience, and for marketers so that they can deliver their outcomes, is for the industry to come together and make things interoperable.
And just some thoughts about the upfronts and sort of where we are in terms of TV, the advertising world, the marketers, sort of what they're looking for and sort of what's next and what the climate is.
Sure. Look, I think right now we're in a moment where the consumer is leading and the entire industry is playing catch-up mode. And I think it's really difficult as consumers amplify their use of OTT and streaming and a host of other things that take them out of the linear television landscape, which continues to be of vital importance to marketers to be able to deliver reach and frequency. We have to work really quickly to evolve where we are. What's interesting right now is I think this is a transitional upfront. I think this is a transitional upfront between the legacy mindset and some of the behaviors that we had in the past and the reality that is upon us. And I would imagine that next year's upfront will look quite different. I think right now we've sort of got a foot in both worlds. What's interesting from a marketer's standpoint is they have to undergo a tremendous amount of transformation right now to be able to take advantage of the advanced audience segments that something like advanced television really allows them to do. If we think about all the models that a brand manager needs to execute to be able to plan a campaign, optimize a campaign, think about ROI, once we change all of those models, they have to change the entire infrastructure within their companies. So galvanizing the power of data, thinking differently about what it means to talk about ROI, thinking about the technology stack that needs to get the right signals moving seamlessly across the entire experience. Those are really challenging. And I think increasingly the expectation will be that marketing and customer experience, which today are largely separate in the organization, the way they're operated, will have to come together. We have to build a smarter experience for consumers because that's their human expectation of brands.
The direct-to-consumer players have really shown us a lot about the power of TV. How has that driven kind of the industry, or what are the expectations of marketers around performance and response and brand lift and those sort of metrics?
I think that marketers are obviously focused on outcomes, and digital marketing and the capabilities that have been unlocked by the digital platforms have really conditioned us to focus on performance marketing and precision marketing. It's more measurable, there's more attribution, and there's more transparency in terms of what's actually happening from an impression and view standpoint against particular audiences. That being said, I still think we're living in a world where most marketers are working to transition their organization to think not so much about return on campaign or return on advertising spend, whether it's traditional media or digital media or anything in between, but really to look at that holistic view of the customer, which is how do I look not just at an individual campaign, but over the total lifetime value of a customer so that I can really create loyalty, retention, value from my customers. And I think that fundamentally what that requires is embracing first-party data, enhancing it with second and third-party data, and the marketers that we're working with are keenly focused on unlocking that direct-to-consumer mindset in the way that they operationalize data, build their segments, and connect it back to their technology stack.
So what's happening in Cannes? What are you excited about in terms of the conversations that you hope to have there?
I'm always excited about Cannes because it's one of the few places which brings together the senior people from the biggest brands in the world and the biggest agencies, large-scale technology providers, and folks who are really bridging these worlds of creativity and data. I think we continue to be at a tension moment. Ultimately, Cannes Lions Festival celebrates creativity, and we have to remember that. It's about the art of the craft and really celebrating the stories that are told. But I think the sophistication with which we can tell those stories, target those stories, measure those stories' impact, and start to drop different breadcrumbs in front of consumers to have a different arc of a story using data and technology in the back end, we've barely unlocked the possibilities, and it's really exciting to start that conversation again this year in Cannes.